Hello, everybody. Jacob from When You Me This here. As you can see, I got $1,000 bankroll sitting there. Four blacks, 500 in green, 100 in red. I do this because this is very standard to me. I feel like, honestly, with today's craps, if you're not going to play an electronic table where you can play $5 game or bubble craps, if you're going to play at a real table, you're probably going to find a $15 to $25 table. So when I show this stuff, I should show it at that level. And I think if you're playing on a $15 table or more expensive, you shouldn't play with less than $1,000. So I feel like this is very standard for actual felt tables. And I know people are like, well, I can win with this, or I can play with 300 or whatever. Yeah, you can, but you're at such a disadvantage to the game. The game has such a big advantage on you at that point from the table minimum, and you're just so limited on the amount of bets you can make if it goes wrong, right? Every strategy and every bankroll will win. You could have one bet. If it won 10 times in a row, you're doing great, right? But the reality of the situation is that's not going to happen. You're going to have losses. You're going to have downswings. So your bankroll needs to be able to cover that, guys. That's the thing. And I talk about this, and I've said this for years. Your strategy is for the wins. Your strategy creates the wins. Your bankroll mitigates the downswing. You mitigates the loss, right? If you're playing with a $300 bankroll at a $15 table, and you have one major downswing early on, you're not going to be able to recover most likely. Most likely you'll never recover the 300. You might win some back, but most likely you'll end the day a loser. All right? Where when you have $1,000, that same downswing, let's say that downswing was a $200 downswing. That's 66% of a $300 bankroll. That's only 20% of a $1,000 bankroll. It's going to be easier to make up that money. Another thing that having a larger bankroll does is it allows you to take more advantage of your opportunities. If you only have $300 to use, then when, let's say, an opportunity on a 4 or a 10 comes, or an opportunity on an ATS bet comes for a lay, or the 4 or 10 on odds if you're on the don't, or something where you're getting a big advantage. If you only have $300 and you got half or 1/6 of that tied up on the don't already, you're not going to be really fond of putting more on it. Whereas, let's say you have the same thing with a $1,000 bankroll, it's a lot more reasonable to put another $100 on it. And so, guys, the bankroll to the table minimum definitely matters. Personally, I think you should have 100 bets. So, essentially, if you're at a $15 table, I think the ideal bankroll is $1,500 or more. The problem with that is obviously a lot of people don't have $1,500 to put on a craps table. And that happens more often than not, where people just are short bankroll. They just don't have enough bankroll to really play the game. That doesn't mean you can't play the game. It just means that you're not in the most advantageous situation you can be in. Did you call your doctor?
No, 9:40.
9:40?
A little early though.
Okay. So, guys, this one's going to be kind of short. I got to take my wife to the doctor. She's having some kind of allergic reaction. But we're going to run through this really quick. On my channel, it's a family thing. So you guys are going to hear family conversations. You're going to hear my kids and everything. So if you have a problem with that, then don't watch. Because that's what it's going to be. But anyways, so back to what we were talking about. As far as having the right bankroll for the strategy, not for the strategy. That's another thing. I think people get that mistaken. It's not the right bankroll for the strategy, guys. If your strategy takes so much of your bankroll to play, then you need to have a different strategy. No strategy should take $1,000 to play. No strategy should be that. If your strategy takes $1,000 to put on the board at one time, that's no good. That's no good work. I mean, you would have to have $1 million to play with. So, again, the ideal situation to be, in my opinion, is 100 bets, 100 minimum bets. And there's a lot of reasoning to that. It's a very poker-styled reasoning. You know, when you go into a poker game, everyone refers to it as how many big blinds do you have? How many big blinds? And there's a reason for that. That means how many times can you play the big blind, which is what you have to play when you're playing Texas Hold'em. Obviously, it's a minimum bet, right? So how many times can you do that? Because that means you're going to see a bunch of free ones along the way, which is also very similar to craps. You're going to see a whole bunch of free rolls where you don't have to add money to the game once you've already added money to the game, right? Once you've already got a bet on the table, you're going to see rolls until that bet satisfies one way or the other, or actually just loses is the case. It's not even the other way, because one bet can win as many times as it wins. So that's another key to this, is understanding your minimum bet versus what kind of bankroll you need. And that is a table to bankroll. And so that strategies are for winning. Bankroll is to mitigate losing. So that's why we're going to look at this, okay? We're going to do some very standard strategies here. Some very standard plays. I don't even consider these strategies anymore. These are just plays. I call them craps specific plays. I know other people, you've heard me say that. Craps specific plays. Plays like 110 inside, okay? A lot of people play 110 inside. That's like this. They play this because two main reasons they play this is, number one, they see other people do it. That's probably the biggest reason. They've seen someone at the casino do it. Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can put $110 inside. Look, I get all those numbers. That's true. And that's the other reason they play it. They play it because they look at it like this. They're like, look, man, this is so great. I can get 18 different combinations, and this 7 has 6 combinations. I'm a 3-1 favorite. All of those cases are true. Everything about that statements are true, but that's not strategy. That's just a play. This is just a play. This is just a tool in a strategy. All right. If you're not going to take this and apply that 3-1 concept to it, if you're just going to set it out there and leave it, or if you're just going to power press it, then you no longer gain that 3-1 advantage, because every time you roll, you lose some of that advantage. Because when you lose here, you lose all 4 bets. All right? If you only lost 1 bet, it would be great, right? But you lose all 4. So the loss is 4-1. All right? You can only win once every roll, but you can lose 4 times. There's the potential to lose 4 times. And so that's the big difference. So if you're not going to play the game, the strategy here, the strategy in this has to do with pressing or not pressing, and has to do with, are you going to live inside that 3-1? 3 hits for every 1 loss, right? That way you can avoid the 4 losses for every one win, right? So what I'm getting at, I'm going to show you guys here. What that means is that you really, in this type of play, you really need to be looking for 2 hits and down, or 2 hits and regress to profit. And the reasoning is simple. Because if this wins 3 for every 1 loss, then you need to get out before you get to that 3. Otherwise, you're putting yourself in a situation where you're no longer any type of advantage. All right, so here we go. Coming out. I'm going to be off on the come out because that's what people do. Let's see what we got. There's a 9. That's the point, is 9. 5 and a 4. All right, so here we go. Put that right there. We are looking for 2 hits and out. And there's a 6, not out. That was the wrong terminology. 2 hits, and then we're going to do something different with our money. I'm going to leave the hit right here, guys. That's not a bet. That's 1 hit. 6 is 5. 516 is going to pay 35. Let's see if we can get to our second hit. We did. Back-to-back 6 perfect. 516. All right, so $35 again. All right, so now at this point, we've got our 2 rolls in, our 2 hits. So we are 2 out of those 3 that are going to come on average, guys. That's overall, if you played 10 sessions, you're going to have, in the same exact play here, you're going to have that happen at that rate. So now, if we leave this up here, we are more likely than we were when we started to probably lose. All right? This is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie 21 or whatever. This is kind of similar to the when the teacher's teaching the game show question. All right? Out of our probability, we've already knocked out 2 of them. We've already knocked out 2 of them, and I know people are going to tell me, every roll of the dice is independent of the last. That's true, unless you're putting it inside of a situation as what we have done. All right? We've accepted that we have a 3-to-1 advantage, so we have to live inside that acceptance, inside that situation. So every roll is not independent of the last. We have started a statistical dilution. All right? We've already won twice. If our stats are telling us that we're going to win 3 for every one, we're pressing our luck if we keep going here. We're pushing the pace. We're pushing that envelope. All right? We're pushing that deviation. We've already diluted the statistic by 2. So now it's way more closer to 1-to-1. And I know that's a lot of far in the future math stuff, but this is why I'm successful at craps, because I pay attention to this part of the game. I pay attention to the fact that I've already gained pretty much what I can gain out of this situation, out of this play. I've used strategy at this point. If I pull down, I've used strategy. This is the strategy part. To this strategy of, okay, I got 2 hits in a 3-to-1 advantage state. In a 3-to-1 advantage situation, I've got 2 hits. I'm pulling down. I'm getting out while I have my profit, while I'm not pushing it any further. And that's what I do. I take this down. Now, simple here. You don't have to be out of the game. This is when you can use other parts of the game, right? You can take your $70 win, which is 2 35s, and you can, let's say, play the 5 and 9, play the 4 and 5. We'll do the 4 and 5 here. All right. So that's $30 play. We won 70. We're plus 40. No matter what happens here at this point, if that situation we had, that 3-to-1 advantage, we used it, we took advantage of it, now we got out of it. Now we're in a situation where there's no way to lose. There's no losing here because we've racked $40 profit. We have $40 over here, more than we started with. And we have 2 bets out here that are just playing for us. They're not playing for the casino at this point. They're only playing for us. All right? So the statistical advantages, anything the casino had, house edge, that's gone. It's gone. Because this is their money. You're using their money against them at this point. And there's a 9. That's the point. All right? So that would have been the 3-to-1. It would have materialized as 3-to-1. All right? We'll be off on the box numbers. And there's a 4 the hard way. Well, it would have been nice to be on for that, huh? This is a free roll. There's an 8. And 7. Okay, so it actually got to 4-to-1, which isn't outside of the deviation, guys. I know I'm saying things that not everyone's going to understand, but that is actually pretty consistent. I'm glad we got out when we did. I know we could have got an extra roll in, but let's say we would have left it up, all right? In that instance, we would have won 4 times, right? We would have won a 4th time, but then we would have lost all 4. So yes, we would have made $20 because we would have made an extra. Well, sorry, but we would have made $30, right? $30 extra. Not bad, but this way we won 40 and still got to play for free. All right, so let's do it again. Let's go back to 110 again. I know you got to look back into the past there on the dice to understand what I was saying. All right. So here we go. Let's stay in our same world of we have a 3-to-1 advantage, but we're only going to take 2, and then we're going to regress to a profit play. All right? This is not a strategy, guys. The strategy is in the regression, is in the taking 2 hits. That's the strategy. This is just a play. Craps specific play. All All right, here we go. Coming out. We got a 7 on the come out, not going to affect us. Everyone's off on the come out anymore in these days, so this is how we're going to play it. I play that way these days anyway, just because I play a lot of horn action when I come out, so focus on one action. There's an 11. And 7. Okay, so we didn't win a single one of these. So last time we would have won 4. This time we won 0. Won 0. This is the deviation. So we lost 4 to 1. Our potential per roll to win was 1. Our potential to lose per win was 4. We lost 4 to 1. Should that deter you? No, not really. That's all within the parameters of the math problem here. That's all within the parameters of this math problem. This math problem is a 2-part problem. Very simple, right? On one side of the math problem, on the positive side, we'll refer to it, you have a 3 to 1 advantage. You should win 3 bets for every one time you roll a 7 and lose. But when you lose 4 bets. Unless you make a spot in the problem where you change, where you deviate. All right, and that's what we're doing. All right, here we go. Coming out, box numbers are off, and we got a 6 or deuce. All right, we're looking for 2 wins, and then we're going to do something different. And we did not get it. All right, so back to back, we didn't win a single bet. Lost 4 to 1. And it wasn't even 1, it was the potential of 1. This is great visuals. Why is this happening? It's not that you're rolling bad. It's not that anything's against you. It's a downturn. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Why you need your bankroll to be able to survive situations such as this. All right, this is all part of it. There's the 9, 6 trade. All right. So let's see if it goes the other way for us. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see. It needs to go the other way though, right? There's a 6, 5, 1. All right, that's going to win 35. Again, we're going to put it right here. That's not a bet. That's just showing what we won. And we got 9, okay. 6, 3. That's going to win another 35. All right, so that was the point made, which doesn't really matter. All right, here we go. So we've won twice. At this point, we've essentially beat the odds. We got to go down to profit. Let's pull all our money down up here. Let's go down to profit. This time we're going to play it slightly different. We're going to play a pass line bet. Here we go. Pass line. Remember, we won 70, and now it's this situation specific. I know we lost $220 previous to that, but this situation specific, we won 70. All right, how much do you want to invest of your 70? All right, you don't want to invest at all. You want to be profitable on this situation. All right, remember, we have no house edge on this run here. All right, so we got $15 on the 8 now. Maybe we'll want to put a 6 out there, right? A $30 6. All right, so what is that? 30, 45. Little more than half our profit. We're still, no matter what happens, we're still going to win the 25 bucks. So here we go. Let's see what happens. There's a 9. And you could have spread that out between 2 numbers or whatever, but again, I'm just showing that it doesn't make a difference at this point. You could do whatever you want. There's 12. As long as you're going to stay within the parameters of the profit you made. There's a point winner, 8. Remember, this is all profit, so you can do whatever you wish with it. All right, box numbers are going to be off. So now you roll this free roll out, see where you get. Oh, nice. Remember, our box numbers are off, so just that line was working. There's a come out 7. All right, that's another win, another extra play. You know, we'll put that to the side. We'll use that one. We racked 1 play. Now we're going to use that other one. Let's see what we get this time. And a 6, hard way. All right. Well, we're not going to leave that 6 up there, obviously. So let's move this on over to the 8. Let's take our $15 play here that we got, and let's get the 5. Right, so now we've gained probability. Remember, there's no house edge. There's no risk in this run. We own the casino already. We've already made $40 total profit on this shooter, and there's a 10. So everything we're doing out here, it's just beneficial only to us. And there's the 8. That's a $35 win. It's 5-3. So this is where the game has the what am I trying to say? The game has switched in our favor. The variance has moved back over to us a little bit. After beating us up a little bit, it's now moved over to us. All right, let's grab the 9 for 15. So we rack 20, we grab 15 out on the board, and there's the 10, 6-4. So now we're just trying to build the board up, get some free play out here, and we lose. But we didn't lose anything there. All we did was make money on that shooter. And that's the key. That's the strategy part. The 110 is not strategy. The 110 is just a play. It's just a play. It's a craps specific play. All right. So let's show it again. And again, this applies to any type of play you do. You could be doing 32 across, 22 inside if you're on a bubble craps or something. If you're not ever regressing down to just profit and you're just fighting it, you're always eventually going to lose to the 4-to-1 aspect of the math problem, as opposed to you winning with the 3-to-1 aspect. All right, here we go. Box numbers are off. You have to make a move in there. You have to use strategy inside of the play. And that's the difference. It's not strategy by just putting the money out there. The strategy is in what you do as the results are coming. And we got a 5, point made, 5, $35 win. Remember, we're just looking for 2 hits. That way we can stay within the world we're trying to stay within. The 3-to-1 world. All right, here we go. Box numbers are off. And we got to come out 10. We're on the 10. Well, someone's on the 10. We're not. There we go. All right, we need 1 hit. And we got an 11, 6-5 yo. And an 8. Okay, there we go. Our play worked in our favor. Now it's time to use our strategy. We got our $35 and $35 wins. That's where we're going to live. We're going to live inside that $70. Live inside the 3-to-1 to gain the advantage. And then this is accepting the advantage and using the advantage at this point. What do we want to do here? Let's play 15 on the 4 and 10. Let's do that. Let's jump on the 4 and 10. See where we get. Here we go. Free play. $40 in the rack. No matter what happens on this shooter. We've already won $40. They can't take that away. All we can do from here is get better or move on to the next round. That's it. There's no losing from this point. And there's a 5. We've rolled an 8, 9, and a 5 at this point. And 7. Okay, fine. We won $40. Move on. We beat the advantage. We beat the 4-to-1 in that run. All right, here we go. Let's do it one more time. And guys, you could just take the money each time and get out of the hand. Makes total sense. Win $70. Box numbers are off. 6 the hard way. 6 the hard way. All right, here we go. We're looking to stay in our advantage. Hopefully 8. Okay, we'll take that. 3, 5, $35. $35 Rooskies. Here we go. We need one more hit for our advantage to hold true. And we got an 11, 6-5 yo. $5, there it is. We'll take it. 35. All right, the play worked. We gained our advantage. Now we're going to use strategy. All right, let's do it a little different this time. Let's put $15 to the come. I know a lot of people like to bet the come. We gained the 7 on this roll at that point, 7 and 11. All right, here we go. 5, okay. It's traveling to the 5. So let's do 15 more in the come. Remember, it's only 30 of the 70. We're actually gonna put $10 in odds because it's kind of silly to play a come bet without odds. And 7. Okay, so we didn't lose anything there. And all we did was gain the money we won initially. Mitigated some of the loss of our profit on that 7. All right, so where did we end up? Now remember, we had two shooters that lost 110, so we were minus 220. Let's see if our pluses equaled out. I have no idea. 400. $900, so we're a little short. We were $20 short. Now, at any point in time, we could have taken extra $20. We could have just taken the 70. So at any point in time, we could have stayed profitable. Even with the 2 losses, even with the 2 4-to-1 side of the math problem losses, we still could have been profitable at any time. We could re-roll this, put the 110 out there for 1 hit, win, and be profitable. So we could drop it down to just winning 1 out of the 3-to-1. And guys, these are all the things that I think a lot of players miss, especially even advanced players miss, is they don't understand when they put the money out there, when they put their money out there, whatever they're doing with their money, what is the math problem they're creating? What are they creating, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of it, and what world do they got to stay in as far as wins and losses goes, as far as the likelihood, the probability of winning versus the probability of losing. If you deviate from those parameters that are set by the math problem you create with your bets, then you should expect to lose. You, at that point, if you're deviating and you're getting out of the realm of that math, what you're doing is you're saying that you're going to beat the odds. You're going to beat the math. That is a losing formula, guys. If you think you're going to beat the math by pushing the I'm going to call it the envelope of the math problem you create. If you think you're going to beat that math, then guys, you're going to lose most of the time. You have to do things. That's why I'm telling you that the bets you make are just the play. The strategy is inside the math. It's inside how you're manipulating the money as it comes in. All right? The money that loses, you have no choice about that. That's the deviation. You're going to get that variance. You're going to have some losers. It's about the money that's coming in. How quickly are you getting to play on the casino's money against the casino with their own money? The more often you can play against the casino with their money, the more times you're going to win. And that's guaranteed 100% of the time. That's the case. If you're always playing with the casino's money and you've got their money in your rack, you can't lose. If you have more than you starting bankroll in your rack and you have bets out there, those are free bets. Those are free play. That's like walking into the casino with your $1,000, but then they give you a $100 voucher. The $100 voucher doesn't have anything to do with your money, but you use it, right? And that's the same thing that I'm trying to get across to people. I'm trying to get across to people that this game has levels of understanding. The vast majority of craps players have a very, very base level of understanding, and I'm trying to get people to that next level. I'm trying to get people to the understanding of the game where nothing in the game should surprise you. Nothing in nothing in the game should surprise you, and your every action you have at that point is only geared to make you more money. It's never geared to do anything else. It's never gut feeling plays. It's never anything like that. It's all your actions should have purpose. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time. I know this video was a little more in depth, a little more advanced, probably harder to understand for some. Sorry if you're newer and I'm speaking Spanish or Japanese or something to you in this one. Sorry about that. But guys, there is a level that I'm trying to bring you guys up to. And thank you for your time. This is Jacob from When You Me This.